Hey, everybody, I got 7 o'clock. This is April 8th, 2025 town board meeting. And first thing on the agenda is pledge of allegiance and Kim Ford, you lead us, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next thing, tell the farmer to take his hat off.
Okay, tonight we have 3 public hearings. So I'll let the town clerk read the legal notice for the first one.
Please take notice that a public hearing will be held by the town of Farmington on the 8th day of April 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Farmington Town Hall, 1000 County Road 8, Farmington, New York, 14425, regarding the adoption of the local law of the town of Farmington for the year 2025 entitled "A Local Law Amending Portions of Chapter 126 of the Code of the Town of Farmington, Individual On-Site Wastewater Treatment System, Articles 1, 2, 4, and 5. Any resident of the town of Farmington shall be entitled to be heard upon the said proposed local law at such public hearing. Copies of said proposed local law are available for review at the town of Farmington Town Hall, 1000 County Road 8, Farmington, New York, 14425. This by resolution of town board of the town of Farmington.
So is there anybody in the room here or online would like to speak for or against this proposed local law? Anybody online or in the room here would like to speak for or against this local law? Staff, any comments?
Yeah, I'll comment on this one. This is the, pretty much has to do with septics. I have to give the credit to Steve on this one. We should probably name it after him. His project brought some loopholes to our code that this is addressing. Pretty much when there's a repair that it gets inspected correctly, and there's a code now that goes along with that. When just a component of a septic system is replaced, where our code really only focused on the whole system. So this really fixes that. I did work with Ontario County Soil and Water District on this code as well, as they do a lot of our inspections. So between their agency and the town, this is the draft that we came up with that I think fixes the small loopholes that we have.
All right, thank you. Any other town board comments? Okay, and at this time I'll close the public hearing on this one, and we'll refer it back to the staff to finalize the official local law. Number 2.
Please take notice that a public hearing will be held by the town of Farmington on the 8th day of April 2025 at 7:01 p.m. at the Farmington Town Hall, 1000 County Road 8, Farmington, New York, 14425, regarding the adoption of a local law of the town of Farmington for the year 2025 entitled "A Local Law Creating Chapter 103 Park and Ride Lot Regulations." Any resident of the town of Farmington shall be entitled to be heard upon said proposed local law at such public hearing. Copies of said proposed local law are available for review at the town of Farmington Town Hall, 1000 County Road 8, Farmington, New York, 14425. This by resolution of town board of the town of Farmington.
Thank you, Michelle. And again, anybody online or in the room here for or against this local law for chapter 103 park and ride lot regulations? Anybody online or in the room here like to make a comment for or against this second local law for tonight? Staff? Yep.
Sure, I can speak a little bit about it. Over a few years I've been here, had problems with, tractor trailer trucks and stuff being in the park and ride down there. Law enforcement would keep telling me, well, you don't have any rules or regulations down here. So it's a little hard to enforce. So I worked with Dan and Ron, so I appreciate their help on this, and we got some regulations to help keep some of that stuff out of there, and not so much, we're not worried about cars parking there for more than 72 hours or anything, but more of the tractor trailer trucks parking in there, the commercial vehicles, and now with the flex space down there, we have a little more authority down there to police that a little better.
So they have been like abandoned vehicles, no place on left on the lot as well, so
Yeah.
it gives them more authority to take care of those things.
Yeah, not as much lately. We used to have people kind of camping out down there, squatting down there. So that was an issue for a while, but that kind of disappeared after the flex space came in, so. Guess that was a good thing for that.
Any other staff comments?
The only thing I'd add to that is the town does own the land. It was part of a subdivision of Skip Shumway's years ago when they were building 332. And as a matter of record, the town now has need for signage there, and this allows the posting of that signage to address the issues that you've heard partial tonight.
Thank you, Brent. Board, any comments? Okay, I'm gonna close this public hearing also, and I'll authorize staff to finalize the local law for this one. And the third one for chapter 115.
Please take notice that a public hearing will be held by the town of Farmington on the 8th day of April 2025 at 7:02 PM at the Farmington Town Hall, 1000 County Road 8, Farmington, New York 14425, regarding the adoption of a local law of the town of Farmington for the year 2025, entitled "A Local Law Creating Chapter 115, Short-Term Residential Rental Regulations." Any resident of the town of Farmington shall be entitled to be heard upon said proposed local law at such public hearing. Copies of said proposed local law are available for review at the town of Farmington Town Hall, 1000 County Road 8, Farmington, New York 14425. This by resolution of the town board of the town of Farmington.
Thank you, Michelle. Again, with this proposed local law for chapter 115, short-term residential rentals and regulations. Anybody online or in the room here like to make any comments for or against? Anybody online or in the room, main meeting room here? Any comments for or against this local law? Okay, this one's a little different. We're gonna leave it open for the 22nd, because our original resolution said we were gonna have the public hearing on the 22nd, but legal notice said today, so we'll keep it open and ask again for anybody that's present at the time if they have any questions on this local law. What's that? Next thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes for the town board meeting of March 26th.
Second.
Here's my mind, second my name. Any comments or corrections? All in favor? Aye.
I abstain.
One abstention. Privilege of the floor, public concerns. Anybody in the room, privilege of the floor or public concerns? Anybody online, privilege of the floor or public concerns? Okay, reports to standing committees, public works.
Yeah, on the water and sewer side of things, a lot of ongoing stuff, so I won't repeat everything that's been gone over at past meetings. They still are working on the heat exchanger for the digesters. They have to have some flanges welded on. That's getting ready to get picked up by the company and then brought back so they can finish that installation. And then we're gonna have to have a boiler company come out to kind of get everything in tune to get that system back up and running the way it's designed. They've been doing ongoing work with the UV system down there. They did have some rodent issues that had to get cleaned out, chewing some wires. And so those are getting repaired and be taking some steps to prevent that going forward in the future. Primary sludge pump was repaired. They had a diaphragm that had to be replaced on that. They've been doing some ongoing cleaning, organizing the loading dock, digester room areas. Talked about the UV lift station maintenance. That's been ongoing. They did report wet wells at pump station 1, 2, and 19 were completely pumped down and cleaned out. And they've been doing oil changes, clearances, belt alignments, things like that, just to keep the system in good shape. Waiting on some quotes for fan replacements in the influent building. And we also had some discussion on the heating system in the influent building as well. Our Vector truck is up for auction right now because we got a new flusher truck this year. That'll be online and bidding is open on that till April 14th. They've been working on the annual water quality report, and that's supposed to go to the Department of Health sometime this week. And like I said, everything else, we discussion on some buried manhole repairs, also some relining of manholes throughout the system, and they're also looking at a new asset management software for all the assets in the system. So that's about it. There is one resolution tonight for water and sewer to purchase some more water meters. Discuss that if there's any questions when that comes up. Highway and Park side, we report every time, but obviously equipment maintenance is nonstop. With the weather, there's been some salting. I don't think you had to drop plows today probably, but.
We did in a few
Did you?
spots. Yep.
A little bit of plowing, but yeah, salting, so good we had salt to put down. All in stone for summer projects, sweeping roads, which will probably have to start over now that we have to lay more salt down. Cleaning trucks, again, ongoing. They did load out the wood chips up at the transfer station that were ground from the brush pile. And picked up some trees that fell over the weekend of the 5th. Parks, they've been working on getting summer equipment ready, final repairs on picnic tables, benches. Removing some plowing, salting equipment, and getting the picnic tables and benches back out into the park. And again, starting mulching flower beds and things like that. He's got 5 resolutions on the agenda. Again, we can talk about those as they come up. Got it?
Thank you. Town operations.
The operations met this morning, got 3 resolutions from we can discuss if they come up. We did discuss obviously the town code amendments. We had the public hearings on those. They also continue to work on updating a couple other chapters, 144 land subdivision, 165 zoning. Wastewater treatment plant rehab project. So there's a resolution tonight. Read it on the agenda. Yeah, pull one of them. Regarding seeker for that project. We do have resolutions tonight. The town board to support 2 different farmland protection grants, or the purchasing the development right grants, one for Sadler's and one for some of Jim Gray's property near what used to be the Fresh Air Farm properties. And those did receive, I think, unanimous support out of the Ag Advisory Committee as far as giving the town support as well for those applications. Still working with the fire department, to try and Farmington Fire Department to try and get them possibly some grant funding for the needed expansion and renovations to Station 2 because of Hook in 96. And then we all are also trying to get the Parks and Rec master plan finalized and maybe get that concept idea for what to do with the property that adjoins the town park here. There's some grant funding that would be available for us to apply for. We just need to get some of the master plan finalized and get a concept for what we want to do with that property, and then hopefully move forward with some grant funding on that as well. Everybody else will give the reports, and the update will be posted on the website.
Thanks, Nate. Reports of other town officials. Supervisor, town news. Oh, no, Woodrive Bridge Lane, restrictions continue. Fisher Associates continues with survey work, doing some test digs. And they've started, the bridge design for replacement. The town newsletter went out last week and to our residents and is on the website also. Victor Little League has reached out to the town recently, wanting to help with ball field improvements at Grove Park. They would be willing to provide approximately $25,000 to assist the town if we were able to add an estimated $10,000. I will reach out to them this week. The discussion we had this morning. Victor Farmington Ambulance reports their activity is, as of April 1st, is up 36 calls compared to last year in Farmington. Overall transports year to date, there's an increase of 224 transports. That's over the same time period in 2025. That's a lot. We hired the Ontario County Sheriff to do some enhanced traffic reporting. They did list tickets for speeding on County Road 28 2, Hook Road 2, County Road 41-1, Retention Road 1, and a lot of other citations were also listed for that 30-day period. Ontario County. Today I met with the Ontario County Economic Development Committee. I'm a committee member there. We've had a very successful 4 months under the Eagle Loan Program for low interest loans. To date, we've issued $203,000 to 9 businesses, where the maximum loan amount is $50,000 per application. And that's a very low interest rate. And we actually have CNB taking those applications, going through them, asking a lot of questions, and then bringing it forward to the Economic Development Council for approval. We added $50,000 more in the budget for 2 applications that are outstanding. And we also went back to Ontario County to ask for another $200,000 because it's been such a great program. So that, again, the maximum is $50,000. Maximum is $25,000. And they have like a 2% interest rate. Very, very, very low. Tomorrow I have 2 meetings, government operations and insurance and ways and means at the county. This is new. I haven't brought it up to Bill or water, but Ontario County has figured out a way to take the lead and assist municipalities with a study on wastewater treatment plant sludge. Since we're closing the landfill in 2028, that is a very important issue for us. We have spent about $200,000 a year in just sludge fees at the Ontario County landfill, and our question is well, where is it going to go after 2028? So MRB and myself have been working with the county on this a little bit, and they found a way to fund the study. Bill, it looks like they're gonna reach out to Barton and Judas and see if they'll be agreeable to do the study.
Okay.
I continue to meet at the county level with some code enforcement individuals in county planning. We've been discussing training requirements, code enforcement workloads, job descriptions, wages and benefits. It's very hard to find qualified people for code enforcement. And, you know, the big towns, Canandaigua, Victor, Farmington, Manchester, you know, we're learned the lesson now, and, you know, you gotta pay more, you gotta bring them in and help them with the training. You're gonna hire somebody before they're fully qualified. And so this committee we're meeting is to work with the smaller towns And, get some best practices out there for those towns. Some of them share the code enforcement officers, so, you know. Some only have a part-time code enforcement officer, but when you look at the overall responsibilities, fire marshal, code enforcement. There's so much that New York State requires that a part-time code enforcement person can not do it for a town, even a town the size of Kansas, so. We'll probably have a lot more meetings on this before we do a presentation to the town supervisors and try to change the way they've operated over the past few years. More to come. The chairman of the board, I don't know if it's because I got gray hair or I've been there too long, but he's appointed me to another committee to interview applicants because Commissioner of DPW Bill Wright is retiring. So we plan to meet the end of this month and into May with individuals that apply for that position. And that's all I have. Highway and Parks.
Yeah, not much more to report. Like Steve said, we didn't have to go out and salt and scrape some roads. The snow was actually blowing into the road, so didn't have to plow. And I had to work with a split crew because half of them this morning were down at the safety building in Ontario County for chainsaw safety. I had half of them there, which we really just did the main roads. We kind of let the subs go and not put any salt in there. And it seemed to work out okay that way, but it did get quite slippery out there in spots today. So like I said, did their chainsaw safety class down there today. Parks the other day, Jeff ordered the lid tops for the recycle cans for the parks that we'll be putting out this year. Hope that works well and everybody uses it for recycling and not garbage, so.
And one of the things I forgot to mention is ordering another dumpster for recyclables.
Okay, that was a question I was gonna ask you, if that's what you wanna do, 'cause I know we can't put it in with the cardboard. We have cardboard dumpsters, but don't allow us to put any of the recycles in there.
The same companies we have out back.
Yeah. Why, do you put them in there? We were told only cardboard. Ours says cardboard only.
So is ours.
All our people.
Okay, well, I follow the rules, so. But we can put them in there. If you guys have been doing it, we haven't been doing it. So. I guess we
We should
should,
have to check.
yeah, okay.
I
That was,
think the paper products you can throw in there too with the cardboard, but when you start throwing like jugs and plastic, metal. I don't think
No,
I think that's where the issue is.
right.
Okay.
Oh, comments.
well, we will call and verify that we can do that. And other than that, we got a few of our guys and our trucks helping out the water and sewer tonight.
Thank you. Michelle, town clerk.
So yesterday, morning, I settled the taxes with the county treasurer's office. That went well. Today I did confirm that we will meet with the auditors, town auditors for the town clerk and tax collector accounts on April 23rd. Last board meeting, Sarah reported that we had 130 unpaids, and yesterday we had 69, so. Within the 2 weeks, we got half, so that's good. And that's about it. Oh, Easter egg hunt, Saturday, 12 o'clock, or 11 or 12,
You would not be late.
right, Dan?
Alrighty, don't be late.
Okay. That's it, sorry.
Thank you. Aaron, water and sewer.
A few things to add to Steve's summary. We're obtaining some quotes from contractors and vendors to perform in-house rehabilitation, potentially pump station 1 at the sewer treatment plant. Our staff continues to diligently work on water meter replacements. I'm working with Dan, building department, on creating a form letter, if you will, reminding folks of our grease trap requirement and ordinance. As Tim alluded to, we've got all staff is in right now on a sanitary force main break on County Road 9, Gillis Road. Thank you, Tim, for some assistance. This is a lot of coordination with this one. It's a big event, so we've coordinating with Town of Victor, their engineers, the contractor that's currently working on pump station 9, or excuse me, pump station 11. We've reached out to Ontario County for the potential to close County Road 9. DEC has been notified. Even the contractor that's performing the pump station upgrade has offered for us to use any of his equipment that's on site. So we're on top of it. Probably be out there most of the night. But
All right, thank you. Dan, building and zoning.
So in March, we issued 109 permits, did 233 inspections and 7 fire inspections. We also, over the last couple of weeks, helped the fire department at a few of their calls. And then I just want to give the board an update on our EV charging. I did get the support earlier in the year from you guys to move forward. We're getting grants. We did get approved from RG&E for the grants for all of our parks in the park and ride. The second half of the funding comes from DEC and DOT. I'm still waiting to hear on the updates on those. They haven't released any of those as of yet. But I have been working with our contractor and trying to keep updated on that. We're hopeful within the next month or two to hear that they're going to start releasing some of that funds. And with any luck, we'll be putting some of these in towards the end of the summer.
Great. Thanks for the update. Ed, planning board.
Thursday, April 16th, we have a public hearing on a 2-lot preliminary subdivision on Ellsworth Road. Villager construction review and recommendations for a letter of credit for grading permit on Loomis Road. We have a review of a preliminary site plan for a single family home on Turner Road to see if it's complete enough for to move forward to public review. And then we have an extension for Sky Solar. 180 days now since their last approval, so they need an extension to continue to move forward. And I think that's it, at least right now. There could be more, you never know.
Thanks. Ron, Director of Planning and Development.
Just to follow up on what Ed said, Thursday is the deadline for submission of new applications, so probably about 11:55 a.m. we'll have a line outside the building department.
Right.
Town ops report was posted today on the website. We have begun working on the updates to chapter 159, the water use regulations. And Peter had met with the water department people for some time the other day, went through that. We've been working with Lori Benson, Cobblestone. For those who don't know, Lori's had a very good 2025. She received $2 million from Tom Golisano, and another $1.8 million from the State Empire Development Corporation. And it's burning a hole in her pocket. So she wants to do something over there. And she's beginning to work with the town on site plans and issues relating to water, sewer, and highway, and you name it. We've just completed a extensive coordinated review with the Victor Planning Board on a project on the town line up on Klein Road, the Timberview Estates, which was proposing a private drive going up those steep slopes to get to the homes up there that they wanted to build on those steep slopes. The Environmental Conservation Board commits to submitting the Open Space Index in May, which is, we're holding them to their feet to the fire on that. We've been working with Monarch Manor. They want to amend their approvals for the remaining 3 sections over there. And right now they're working with their attorneys on the settling of the estate issues. Blackbrook drainage study wants to get underway. The county wants to hire a consultant. They're looking for volunteers. I see one down the aisle right there. Leaning over. And I see another one right up here too. We've been after that for some time. The Sky Solar, the lot line adjustment map, transferring properties between New Energy Works and Sky Solar has been finalized. I believe it's been reviewed by,
It has been reviewed, but they haven't submitted the ones to be signed.
okay. So that combined with their changing engineers has caused them to need an extension to their property. The wastewater treatment rehab project, which you have on the resolution tonight, that 90-day commences tomorrow. So I've been working with MRB and stat, and we have the packet ready to go out. Once you approve that, you'll need to sign the Part 1 form seeker. And then finally, the Park and Rec Master Plan. We've been notified by the state that the window is opening in May for the consolidated funding program, which usually is a 90-day window. So we have to hopefully adopt the update as soon as we can to get moving towards a project to get funding from the state. That's it.
It's a good list, right?
I haven't been doing anything.
I'm the engineers, Bill.
All right, you touched on the wastewater treatment plant. We also have a Cranberry Drive project. We'll be opening bids on that project next week on the 15th. So hoping for good bids there. And Ron reminded me that we also had a water tank raised today, if you guys didn't mention it. So you'll see something you haven't seen in the skyline ever before as you go past that site. And there was a nice article in the DNC, I think, on that project. So
I took a picture of it. They did the raising yesterday. They took a picture of it this morning in the middle of the snowstorm.
yeah,
And, but off from Yerkes Road. It's still up there.
it's definitely bigger than the old one. You
Yeah.
can see that.
I forget a couple hundred more sheets of steel that have got to be added to it to enclose it.
Plus a whole lot of duct tape, you know?
Well, I won't come online until probably September, right?
Yeah, towards the end of the year. Yeah, fall. Yeah.
I guess that's what $10 million get you. Just for the tank. No starting tonight, no recreation tonight, no assessor tonight. Al, Agriculture Advisory Committee.
Well, as Nate mentioned, our committee reviewed and recommended that the town endorse these two farmland protection grant applications. Sadler Brothers application is 375 acres. The Fresh Air Farm application is 174. I can try and answer any questions either now or as you take up the resolution.
Yeah, no, I appreciate we did get, maps on it. A lot of information. Always good to have the Agriculture Committee make a recommendation to the town what we're doing.
Happy to do it.
Helps us. It's not every day we get 2 applications in the same year.
That's true. My fearless prediction is you'll see more.
So. Any comments, questions? Thank you. Rest of the agenda, communications are on file. Reports and minutes are on file, and then we'll go to resolutions. First one is resolution reappointing our assessor pursuant to real property tax law 310.
So
Motion by Nate, second by Ron. Assessors across New York State are on a totally different cycle from town board or village board members, and basically this is effective October 1st, 2025 for a 6-year term, so it'll expire September 30th, 2031. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Here's a resolution waiving the potential odd reservation fee for Cobblestone Arts Center Day Hab services to adults with disabilities.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mike, and second by Steve. We've done this in the past. And they, given us specific dates. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Three, resolution authorizing acceptance of the monthly report of the supervisor for March 2025.
Second.
Motion by Ron, second by Nate. Any questions there? All in favor?
Aye.
Board's resolution authorizing the moving of cellular service for fire and security systems at the court and the highway buildings. So moved.
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Mike. These systems for alarms were hard copper wire. As everybody knows, that's kind of going away. And so we've got two proposals here, different companies, one for the court, one for highway department, for cellular systems for the alarms. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 5 is authorizing the dates for 2025 for the spring and fall cleanups, which are May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and October 17 and 18.
So moved. Second.
By Mike, second by Steve. Again, this is quite a few years now. We've been doing it twice a year. And it'll be a resolution for the vendors coming too. That's all in favor? Aye. Resolution authorizing the highway park superintendent to hire vendors for the 2025 annual spring and fall cleanups. And shredding for the first one in May is going to be on Friday. 9 to
9 to noon.
9 to noon. We couldn't get the vendor for Saturday like we normally do. And all will have them back on Saturday. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 7 is a resolution authorizing refurbishments to the baseball softball fields at a cost not to exceed $4,165.
Second.
By Steve, second by Mike, and again, this is the Duro Edge infield mix, not what I talked about earlier about upgrading the Grove parks. These are for the current parks we have in the ball fields. All in favor?
Aye.
8 is confirming resolution authorizing the Highway Park Superintendent to pay for a gas-powered plate camper at a cost not to exceed $6,200. So,
Second.
motion by Mike, second by Ron. We did get 3 quotes for our purchasing agreement, and this will go to Admar for $6,200. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 9 is resolution establishing a penalty date for all unpaid 2025 first quarter accounts located within the Canada Farmington Water District and the Victor Sewer Districts as of May 1st, 2025.
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Mike. Any questions there? All in favor? Aye. And is a resolution authorizing the approval of the annual agreement for Doyle Security for alarm monitoring service for the fire inspection and ramp, which is remote access management. The cost not to exceed $5,857.34. So. We need something on. One favor. Aye. 11. Resolution classifying the Farmington wastewater treatment plant rehabilitation project as a type 1 action under the provisions of the State Environmental Quality Review Act. Declaring intent to be designated lead agency, authorizing a coordinated review under secret accepting the full environmental assessment form, part one, prepared by the town engineers and accepting the town engineers report for said project.
Second.
Motion by Nate, second by Mike. Any questions on that one? This is the first step of going out to getting funding for the wastewater treatment plant upgrades. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Calls a resolution authorizing the purchase of additional badger meters and endpoints at a cost not to exceed $27,000. So moved. Second. Again, have about a $200,000 a year budget, and we went through the first 130, so this is the next batch of meters for replacement and not only residential, but commercial properties. All in favor? Aye. 13 is a resolution authorizing a budget amendment for the sewer fund, transferring money from appropriated fund balance to engineering in a total amount of $15,000.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mike, second by Steve. Any questions there? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 14 is a resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign the employee assistance program agreement with associates in employment assistance at a cost not to exceed $1,584.
So.
Also does a little bit of a budget amendment too, of $150. All in favor? Aye. 15 is a resolution of support for the Genesee Land Trust application to New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets for round 20 farmland protection implementation grant for the Sadler Brothers Farm.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Mike, second by Ron. Any questions on that one? All in favor? Aye. 16, resolution of support for the Genesee Land Trust application to the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets for round 20 farmland protection implementation grant. This is for the Fresh Air Farm LLC.
Second.
Motion by Nate, second by Steve. Any questions on that one? All in favor? Aye. 17, resolution to add Aaron Bissell to the water and sewer who is the water and sewer superintendent to the 2025 credit card policy. So. Motion by Mike, second by Ron. Any questions there? All in favor?
Aye.
Everybody, item 18 is a duplicate of item 11. So we'll go to item 19, which is the abstract to pay the bills. And it's abstract stuff. General fund, $185,046.11. Highway fund, $84,006.61. Cranberry Drive water line, $1,966.50. Cranberry Road Drive Road, $1,966.50. Water tank repair, $12,441.95. Town line capital project, $4,295.84. Storm drainage, $354.75. Sewer district, $57,356.24. Water district, $41,683.76. Payroll deductions, $18.34. For a total abstract to pay the bills, $389,136.60. Can I have a motion, please?
So.
Second.
Motion by Mike, second by Ron. Any corrections, abstention? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I have no other discussion tonight, no executive session. Let's see, the last time anybody did bring anything to the board. Take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Dave, second by Mike, all in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody.